magandang gabi sa'yo. Siguro ang una kong tanong sa'yo, kumusta ka na after what happened a few weeks ago? Kumusta ang iyong kalusugan? Kumusta ang resulta ng iyong test?
Uh, for as with regards to my health, I'm doing okay. My antigen tests have been consecutively negative, and I followed it up with a negative PCR result, which I took on December 31, and the result came on January 1. Pero in terms of how I'm doing, parang this is the first time I've ever been bashed or criticized on social media. It's more than just health, kasi there's mental health, there's emotional health, and nakakahina talaga. And there's some days where you just feel mabigat. Just reading the comments, knowing you didn't do anything wrong. But if you have to defend yourself to every single person, if they already paint you as the villain or the bad guy or the quarantine breacher, there's not much you can do to change their mind. But with regards to that, I'd like to thank all my friends, my family members, our soon-to-be Mayor Sunny Collantes and incumbent Congresswoman Maitet Collantes for personally reaching out to me and showing their concern, walking me through how to handle things, and all our supporters in Tanawan, maraming salamat po. Kayo ang nagbibigay ng lakas sa akin.
Now let's get straight to the point, Carlos.
Mhm.
What really happened on December 23rd, 2021? Ano yung nangyari? Bakit nandoon si Poblacion Girl? Ano ang pinagkakaabalahan ninyong magpabarkada, magkakaibigan, magpapamilya?
Well, in terms of what really happened that night, not much really happened naman. Kasi apart from, finding out she was positive, that night started, we had dinner in Miho restaurant. It was my cousins and I, as far as I knew, with, if I remember correctly, 2+1s, which is boyfriend of my cousin and a girlfriend of my cousin. And so towards the end of the dinner, dumating si Poblacion Girl and yung boyfriend niya. And eventually, after eating, we took a photo, which is the one which is being circulated now. No. After that dinner, we went to a bar in Poblacion, and when we got there, they took our temperatures. They asked for our health declaration, yung QR ganon. They also asked for our vaccination, proof of vaccination, followed by sanitizing our hands after. So as far as we're concerned, even in the restaurant, there was proper social distancing. The seats were far apart, except that, for when we took the picture, syempre, magkatabi lahat, but apart from, we that night, fairly normal. We ended up spending the rest of the night in the bar. But with regards to how we know her, she is the girlfriend of one of the friends of my younger cousins po. Yeah.
So, linawin, let's make it clear, Carlos, originally, ilan lang talaga kayo na talagang supposedly magkikita-kita nung gabing yon until Poblacion Girl and her boyfriend arrived?
Well, I'm not exactly sure if it's 11 or 12, pero basically, my cousins, as far as I knew, it was supposed to be our cousins plus me, and 2 dates, 1 boyfriend, 1 girlfriend. So maybe 12 or 14.
Okay. And then Poblacion Girl and her boyfriend, yes, were not invited.
No. So none of us personally invited Poblacion Girl. So when this situation blew up, or this incident, nagtaka kami. So sabi namin, what really happened ba? Kasi a lot of us are saying we didn't know they were coming, pero dumating sila. And one of my cousins said that he's close to the boyfriend. Sabi niya, oh, I told him we were going to be there days before, pero hindi nag-reply. So as far as I know, he mentioned it to the boyfriend, but hindi nag-reply. So I mean, it wasn't.
You took that as a no.
Yeah, and it's a restaurant naman. It wasn't a private event. We just, maybe reserved the table. I don't even know if we reserved it, pero we arrived there, and yun ya, as far as I knew, we were just going to be the cousins plus that 1 or 2 dates, ganon.
When and how did you find out that Poblacion Girl skipped her quarantine and got tested positive?
We found out noong December 27th, which was 4 days after, no? That morning kasi, one of my cousins messaged our Telegram group. Sabi niya, si Poblacion Girl tested positive. And since nakasama namin sa 23, all to test, di ba? Kasi that's 4 days after and the symptoms supposedly start showing 3 to 5 days after, no? So right when we found out, we tested ourselves, tested our immediate family members, and at that point, parang not a lot tested positive. Most were even negative pa nga eh. So nagtaka din kami. We said, why would she randomly test herself? Diba? But out of nowhere, bigla lang may positive result. And then, so we asked, lumabas, he said it was the 5th day PCR test that all travelers come here do after serving their 5-day quarantine. So at that point is when we figured, how was she, allowed to go out kung 5th day quarantine test yun, di ba? Yeah.
So, bottom line is, wala kayong idea na nung habang nag-uusap kayo at magkakasama kayo na she skipped the quarantine. Pero alam nyo na galing siyang US.
Truth be told, personally for me, since I've been going around sa Tanawan for the last how many months introducing myself kasi nga hindi po ako kilala, I've been out of touch with most of social media. I don't know where people go or who comes from where. So, and my brother just arrived from Scotland. He's doing his MBA there. He arrived on the 12th and he was released from his quarantine 18th, if I'm not mistaken. And I haven't seen him in a year. My one of my older cousins also is based in Singapore. Same thing, haven't seen them in over a year. Did the quarantine, nag-extend pa ata ng 1 day if I'm not mistaken. And parang so, one, I didn't know she was in the States. 2, why would anyone assume that people wouldn't serve the quarantine since that's the standard protocol, diba? So with me, that night, I was too busy catching up with my cousins, my brother, kasi yun nga, even though my brother arrived on the 12th, did quarantine till the 18th, ako, I'm barely home. We get home siguro 10 p.m. na, 11 p.m., diba? Kaya,
No, that's okay. At least medyo malinaw na. Okay, you've mentioned, Carlos, na Poblacion Girl is the girlfriend of a friend of your younger cousin, di ba? Pero kayo ni Poblacion Girl, how are you related to her? Do you know her personally? Talaga bang even before that event happened, that night happened, nag-hang out na kayo together? Are you really on the same circle?
I wouldn't say the same circle naman kasi yun nga, our relationship is we met her through the boyfriend. So, since the boyfriend is friends with my younger cousins, syempre, for whatever nights out, gatherings, you also know if your cousins' friends are dating people in passing, but even sa college kasi they're 5 batches below, di ko naabutan. So, but from going out to an extent, di ba?
Was that the first time you bonded with Poblacion Girl or hindi naman?
What do you mean by bonded?
I mean, yan ba yung unang pagkakataon na nag-bonding kayo or nagkasama kayo sa kainan, sa party, etc.?
Um, sa party, sa kainan, to my knowledge, yeah. Pero, I've seen her out naman kasi it's not like I don't know the boyfriend, di ba? And like, I can't even answer the first time I met her kasi I don't know how many years na sila magkajowa, di ba? But, yun nga, the extent of our relationship is when we're in even nights out, pag nandyan yung boyfriend, nandyan si Poblacion Girl, 'di ba? So it's not like we text or it's not like we, grab coffee, 'di ba?
Okay. So, hindi yun yung first time na nagkasama kayo. Tama.
Um in terms of like our cousins reunion, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
Dinner, 'yan yung first time. So but nights out kasi common friends, maliit naman yung Manila, 'di ba?
Now, moving forward, Carlos, no, what are your plans now? Have you spoke with Poblacion Girl and her family? Anong napag-uusapan ninyo magpipinsan at magkakaibigan when you found out na ito, grabe na yung naging issue na to? Parang talagang biglang lumaki tong ganitong balita eh.
Mhm. Well, with regards to speaking to Poblacion Girl and her family, I've not spoken to them yet. Yun nga, like I said, hindi naman kami textmates. Hindi kami, like, we don't exchange messages. The extent of our relationship is she's, the girlfriend of one of my cousin's friends, diba? I mean, although I know the boyfriend, it's not like we also occasionally text or eat together. With regards to what we're going to do moving forward, so far naman we've been complying with CIDG with their investigation. Whenever they ask about details of the night or what happened, we we answer to the best of our abilities, 'di ba? Kasi yun nga, if you ask me who she talked to in that night, malay ko ba, 'di ba? I mean, I don't watch her every move, no?
Mm-mm-mm.
Um, but if you're thinking legally, we right now we're more focused on the health and well-being of our family members, because my siblings aren't the only ones who got it. My cousins also, and we also have parents that are worried. And the last thing we want to do right now is put more burden and more spotlight into the situation. I'm more than confident that the CIDG is capable of handling it on their own. But if the family eventually decides, to do something about it, it's still being discussed to see what the best course of action would be.
At least talagang inuuna mo muna yung kapakanan and health well-being mo, ng kaibigan mo at ng pamilya. And if ever may legal actions kayo na gagawin, are you still open pero pag-uusapan pa rin?
Well, the CIDG has encouraged, or what's the word they use, advised us to also file separate cases against her individually. But yun nga, like we said, we our more immediate problem is getting everyone back healthy, diba? I mean, also worrying about how to what medicines to bring them, when should we test them, who else they may have been in contact with, because it's not just, let's example me, it's not just my brothers and sisters, it's my cousins also. And all our relatives that were there, syempre nadamay rin. So we're also checking up on each other, 'di ba?
Ikaw, Carlos, no, how are you taking this controversy? I mean, you're an athlete, you're a private person, and you're aiming for a political position in Tanawan, Batangas. How are you taking this?
Um, you know, like you said nga, like I'm a private person, even though I post on social media, those are very filtered. It's not like everyday life. And with regards to running for a public office, initially I didn't want to voice out our side of the story. I didn't want to speak up because I know the moment you speak up, people are always going to try and twist your words. But I feel like with all the comments we've been seeing, all the bashing, all the assumptions, all the false accusations, I feel like we owe it not just to myself, but on behalf of my family and all those affected, um, to share our side naman, because I believe we didn't do anything wrong. We followed all the health and safety protocols. Apart from her eventually testing positive, if you take that out of the equation, it's just a normal dinner out and drinks after, diba? Um, One of the reasons why I wanted to point this out was because that photo that was leaked or that's being shared um, puts all of us in a bad light, especially one of my younger cousins who's 14 years old, who is now getting comments from people saying they want to do indecent things to her. Yeah, hindi ko na sabi kasi, it's profanity filter, but that's a 14-year-old child that people, think that way, diba? So, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, si Senator Grace Poe is pushing for raising the age of consent to 16, diba? So if anything, that's child abuse, no?
Mm, 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 mm.
So it's not just me that's being affected; it's also my family, and yun nga, I'm glad that you're giving me the chance to speak on our behalf and voice out what really happened from our perspective.
And thank you for this opportunity rin, Carlos. Carlos, linawin lang din natin kasi yung kumakalat na picture nga no, ninyong magkakasama, syempre minarkahan na ng mga netizen ng mga positive yung pagmumukha ng ibang kasama mo. Were they really COVID-19 positive? How are they right now?
Um, well, some of them were, but one of the ones that were marked positive was my brother, who like me, continuously tested negative and eventually got a PCR on December 31, which tested negative as well. So, that picture circulating around, he's flying back to Scotland sometime soon. Diba, it doesn't look good on him or on anyone else na to be labeled like that, hindi ka naman positive. So, people are treating us like we broke her out. They're treating us like, we had something to do with it when in reality, we didn't even know she was going to be part of the dinner. Diba?
Yeah, tama, tama. Siguro, Carlos, just to wrap this up, no, ano ang mensahe mo? What's your message to the netizens, to the general public, just to shed your side and hindi ka nahusgahan after mag-blow up itong controversy na ito?
As for my message, just don't wait to learn from experience. The health and safety protocols are there for a reason. Stay updated with your vaccines. If you can get a booster already, I suggest you do it, because the health and safety protocols are there to protect us, and not just to protect us, to protect those around us, the people we love, the people we come into contact day to day life. You never know when or how you can contract the virus, but if we each do our part in combating it, sooner rather than later, we will beat it as a country. Diba? We just have to, be mindful of our actions and how our actions affect others.
How about message mo naman sa bashers mo? Kasi hindi lang si Poblacion Girl ang nababash ngayon. Parang
Mhm.
kayong lahat na nandoon sa viral photo, lahat kayo iniisa-isa na at lahat kayo
Mhm.
pinupuntirya din ng bashing. What's your message?
Well, everyone loves chismis, diba? They panggatong or whatever. I don't know if some people want to do it for clout or for more attention, but if you're going to bash, one, at least make sure that your claims and your accusations are accurate, because it puts innocent people in a bad light, and people who have nothing to do with the situation, you know, it's not fair to them. If you put yourselves in our shoes, you had dinner with your loved ones na hindi mo nakita for over a year, wala naman kayong ginawang masama, diba? I don't blame anyone. I don't have any negative thoughts towards the people who bash me. Pero please lang, wag naman to little children, diba? 14-year-old girls. And please, if you're going to draw signs on people who are COVID positive or whatever, find a way to make it true, kasi you're just adding to the mass hysteria of negative information, and it doesn't help anyone, diba? So lahat naman tayo Pilipino, let's help each other, help heal the country and help one another. Kababayan tayo, diba?
With that, nako, thank you so much, Carlos, for your side and for this interview. No, we hope na you continue to be okay, and good luck on your career sa politika. So, ingat ka, Carlos.
Thank you, Von. Ingat. Take care.